face an attack like never been seen before. What happens to Iran now? The agency is not in a position to determine whether the related nuclear material is still outside of safeguards. Welcome. Tonight we are reacting to what's happening in the news and to discuss what is Iran's biggest issue. The IAEA Director General's introductory statement to the Board of Governors. I have been working closely and intensively with both the Islamic Republic of Iran and the United States of America through active consultations in support of their bilateral negotiation to find a mutually acceptable agreement that ensures the peaceful nature of Iran's nuclear program. The US was originally a signatory to the JCPOA, but US President Donald Trump withdrew the country from the agreement, which he argued was not strict enough, and imposed unilateral sanctions on Iran during his first term in 2017 to 2021. Although Iran formally remained in the JCPOA, it took steps that directly contravened the agreement's terms, including enriching uranium to levels beyond the JCPOA mandated limits and removing cameras and monitoring equipment required by the deal. So in the deal, we conducted complimentary access in 2019 and 2020. Since then, we have been seeking explanations and clarifications from Iran for the presence of these uranium particles, including through a number of high-level meetings and consultations in which I have been personally involved. Iran has repeatedly either not answered or not provided technically credible answers to the agency's questions. It has also sought to sanitize the locations, which has impeded agency verification activities. The agency's comprehensive assessment of what took place based on our technical evaluation of all available safeguards, relevant information, has led us to conclude that these three locations and other possible related locations were part of an undeclared structured nuclear program carried out by Iran until the early 2000s. In a November 2022 resolution, the IAEA Board of Governors censored Iran and directed it to comply with the IAEA's investigation. In response, Iran announced that it had started enriching uranium to 60% purity, approaching the approximately 90% level required to produce a nuclear weapon and well above the 3.67% limit imposed by the JCPOA. Based on their assessment, Iran stopped implementing the modified code 3.1, which has led to a significant, as he says, significant reduction in the agency's ability to verify whether Iran's nuclear program is entirely peaceful. Iran's nuclear ambitions have been a focus of international diplomacy for decades. In June, the Security Council is expected to convene a briefing on the Secretary General's biannual report on the implementation of Resolution 2231 of 20th of July 2015. So this is now 11 years ongoing. The Council is also supposed to receive the biannual report and briefing from the Council's 2231 facilitator. This may not take place in June, however, as the position remained vacant at the time of writing due to the delay in the appointment of subsidiary body chairs. Between 2021 and 2025, the US, Iran, and other parties to the JCPOA began to talk to revive the agreement. Those discussions ultimately failed after Iran insisted as a condition for accepting a deal that the International Atomic Energy Agency closes investigation into traces of enriched uranium that it had discovered at 3 undeclared sites in Iran in 2019. Biggest issue that we discovered and discussed is that Iran broke the agreements and therefore brought distrust into the conversation. And with the distrust of exceeding the 3.67% limit imposed by the JCPOA, here we are with this war.